Hey guys, welcome back. I am Jason. We're going to be talking about vehicle preparedness right now. I am in a disaster scene at the moment. This is the results of Hurricane Helene. This river was absolutely crazy. Some of you have seen the videos that we posted of the aftermath of the storm, and the water levels were just out of control. Way above my head right now. I would have been underwater for sure. You can look at the railroad tracks across the way there. Roads are washed out everywhere. There's some roads that are absolutely completely gone. And then when coming to a place like this, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't part of the problem, I could be part of the solution. And a number one really big thing that you need to consider is mobility. How are you going to get to and from without causing more road hazards, like a vehicle stuck in the middle of the road or stuck in a ditch or flat tires and all that kind of stuff. So please take a quick second to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and share. The shares are extremely helpful. Share it with your brother, your sister. Really doesn't matter as long as you share it with somebody. It helps to get the word out, and we've been doing a lot to raise money for the people that have been affected by this storm. And it's not that complicated, guys. It's just maintenance, really. Stay on top of maintenance. Oil changes, check your tire pressures, all that kind of stuff, the basic, check your fluids. Obviously, I keep track of, when I last changed my oil and all that kind of stuff and rotated my tires. I keep track of all that stuff. I check all the fluid levels. I make sure that we're all squared away. Every time I go on a trip such as this, or really any longer trip, I make sure that I'm checking my oil, making sure I'm in the hash marks there. I check the transmission fluid to make sure that it's where it needs to be, that it's in the hash marks there. And just the basics, that's it. Don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. And if you are going all haphazardly into a place with a broken down vehicle, you're gonna be a problem. So, especially if you've got other people that you're planning on transporting to and fro. And we're transporting equipment, take a look at the back of my truck.
A lot of people.
Yeah, so this truck has been used as a mule, basically. So if we look back here, this will give you an idea of what my week's been like. I've been doing that, hauling crap to and fro all over the place. So now, with that aside, obviously vehicle maintenance is a big one. I've got a four-wheel drive vehicle, which I think is essential for coming into places like this. Not necessarily that I'm gonna need it. I have used it a few times because it was necessary, but just knowing what your vehicle is capable of doing and where you're capable of going without getting stuck, and again, becoming part of the problem. Because a couple of these roads that we were on were just basically bulldozed paths through the destruction that we've been in.
Wow, this is a bridge, guys.
It'd be very easy to get stuck, and if you got stuck, you'd be blocking literally the only path that people have to get emergency services to people that were in need. So we can't have that. But aside from that, if it was to have a vehicle problem, we've always got ways that we can carry equipment, necessary supplies just on foot. So having good broke-in boots, a healthy body, a not broke down body, keep maintenance on that as well. That's super important, so you can solve these problems yourself and not get into trouble. You are your own first responder out here. This is the Wild West where we are right now. Emergency services are busy. They are not coming to the rescue right now. If you have cell phone coverage out here, it's been very, very spotty. Most of the cell phone towers were down for an extended period of time. Power's out everywhere, water's down. No one's coming to help you. You are gonna have to help yourself. So having the tools and equipment necessary to get yourself unstuck, perhaps, is essential. Winches and all that stuff is great. Tow straps, chains, come-alongs, all that stuff is really important, and I've got all that kind of stuff here. Chainsaws and axes and stuff like that to clear roads, to get yourself to and fro. All of that stuff is in my truck and ready to go, and I possess the skills and knowledge to do most of that stuff. Another key thing to think about is just fuel. Fortunately, my truck has large fuel tanks, so I don't have to really carry too much. Even though my truck has large fuel tanks, I have 5 gallons of diesel on top of the rack. But so be thinking about that if you don't have a huge fuel tank and you're not capable of covering a large distance with all the driving around that you're going to be doing, or sitting and waiting on construction crews and stuff like that. Make sure that you carry what you need, because these areas that we've been to either haven't had fuel at all, they've been rationing fuel, or they're using it for emergency purposes, and we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to make sure that we're not pulling from the supplies of the community that we're trying to help. So make sure that you carry enough fuel to get yourself in and plenty of fuel to get yourself back out. Yeah, keep going this way. Head towards, head north to Building Community Center's on the right. Can't miss it. Anyway, I'm standing on a power line right now, actually. Having stuff to sustain yourself for an extended period of time, perhaps. Do you have a few days worth of food and water? Ways to purify water. I can tell you right now, you do not want to drink this water. Every septic system, every sewage treatment, something or other upstream is flowing into this right now. There is dead things, there is human waste, there is a lot of stuff in this water, and you do not want to be drinking it. I can tell you that for a fact. So really high quality water filtration is going to be essential, and boiling it would probably be best if you had to drink something like this. But I would definitely be looking for, luckily where we live in the mountains, there's spring heads and stuff everywhere that I would be much more trusting to drink. So yeah, food, water, medical supplies. If you should get in some sort of accident, slip, fall, if you're using a chainsaw to clear a road and you cut yourself, heaven forbid, do you have the skills and the equipment necessary to take care of that, at least for the short term, until you can get to a more higher level of care? Thanks so much for watching, friends. I really do appreciate the thumbs up, the sharing, the subscribing. All those things are really, really helpful. The sharing specifically helps a lot. So share this with somebody, anybody, doesn't really matter. And I'd be really grateful for that. And typically at the end of my videos, I say, what's the worst that could happen? Well, this might be the worst thing that could happen to a lot of people. A lot of people went through the worst thing that could happen. They lost everything. They lost loved ones. Their homes have been deleted off the face of the earth, and they're going to have to start fresh somehow, some way. So lots of prayers. That's what I want from this video. Don't do any of the things that I just said. Don't do the clicking. Don't do the sharing. I don't care. Just send lots of prayers this way. Thanks for watching, friends, and we'll see you on the next one.
A truck to get that out of there.
There's no road over there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's taking a full day.
How long will it just to get that one thing out of the river? Pulled out all these steps. There's the guy I helped right there in the red flannel. Yeah, so we shoveled all these steps out. Mud was up to the doors. They've been doing the brunt and all the heavy lifting, and they need to get back to being firemen.
Yep.
They got to get back to being firemen.
Yeah, that's what Jacob and the other guys were telling us.
Here's a bunch of propane.
That's theirs too. Take a peek.